Welcome to She Rolls Rogue, where it's no gi,
no rolls,
and no apologies.
I'm Chelsea Cainberg.
I'm Tori Sterner.
And I'm Natalie Kranzman.
And we're here with
Elise Carter.
Sweet. What is your soon-to-be last name?
Messini. I'm gonna get married. Oh, I don't have my ring on. I like showing people my ring.
She's off the market, guys. We can confirm.
I'm gonna be Italian.
Ooh, he's Italian?
Isn't that crazy? He is.
He does not seem Italian.
I'm telling you, it's weird. Yeah.
Can he cook?
No.
Damn.
Wow.
That's
unfortunate.
You got an Italian that doesn't know how to cook Italian.
He's like Norwegian, if you can't tell. Like, that's where his mom's from.
Got it.
I don't know. From Norwegia.
Nick is gonna listen to this. He's like, why did you guys start the episode talking shit about me?
That's how I live my life.
It's love language. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to apologize in advance to our listeners because we've been in this room for about 40 minutes and no one can take things seriously. So hopefully we get into some serious jiu-jitsu talk.
Get your shit together, ladies.
It's like a middle school sleepover at 2 a.m.
It's okay if there's banter. We're only like a minute into this.
And 40 seconds of it has been banter. And I was just giggling
and laughing.
Oh
I know. So someone's gonna listen to this for the first time and be like, I'm shutting this shit off.
Skip to half an hour in if you want to listen to the actual podcast.
In the description, we'll say when to skip forward to for when we actually start talking content.
We'll give you the timestamp when we can finally get our shit together.
My eyes are watering.
All right,
shoot. Okay, serious talk. Jiu-jitsu. You do jiu-jitsu, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. She's decent at jiu-jitsu.
She's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. She's pretty good at jiu-jitsu. Do you want to tell us your rank and where you train? Also, you don't have to talk to the camera.
I do?
You don't.
Oh, okay.
You can just like
act
like
side-eyeing.
I know. I forgot to mention that
there.
before we started recording.
Okay.
Where like you don't have to like I'll sometimes look at it and make awkward eye contact, but
Yeah,
I
do
do
a lot.
okay.
Well, you can just talk to us.
Yeah.
It's just conversation.
I am a blue belt. I got promoted in December of 25. Yeah.
25.
So like a year of blue. And I train at Caliber Martial Arts in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Cool. It's awesome there.
Is that where you started?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But we were in Lake Geneva and then we moved to Elkhorn. So pretty much same.
Gotcha. Cool. And how long have you been training?
3 years now.
3 years. Did you start with Nick? Did you guys start together?
So this is my story because I like to tell people this. So my fiance does jiu-jitsu also, and he's better than me at jiu-jitsu, but I technically started a week before him, so I like to tell people I brought him to jiu-jitsu, even though he totally was going to do it anyway. I just did it before he got to it. But I like to tell people that I did it first.
But you didn't meet there.
No, we've been dating for like 2 years before that.
Honestly, I don't know why I thought that. I thought you met on the mat. Okay.
We actually like broke up and then got back together and then started jiu-jitsu the next month. So like kind of same,
Kind
you
of,
know?
Couples
Like,
therapy.
dude, yeah. It's for real.
Mhm.
Like totally different people from jiu-jitsu. It's been such a good experience.
Since we're talking about him, can you tell your engagement story because it was very cute?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Pictures, the best.
Yeah, I love talking about it because it's my favorite thing. So he's not like a romantic gesture guy in my I didn't think that was gonna happen, but every year we do a we call it Caliber Family Day, and it's just a big get together with all our jiu-jitsu friends, like friends of friends, family, like just pretty much anyone you want to come. And so it's like 4 hours of shooting range because our instructor, it's called Caliber for a reason. Our instructor's a firearms instructor, so we do like safety training and like actual firearms stuff. And then we have a huge cookout with like 100 people. And like his family was there, but his family is always there, and like friends of friends came, and like people had cameras and stuff, but like totally normal like behavior, you know. And so he got up to make a speech about jiu-jitsu, and so it's like a 4-minute speech. He's like into it, just talking about like how jiu-jitsu has changed his life, like how the gym has like transformed him, all stuff I already knew. But then he mentioned my name, and I swear to God, I started to get angry because I thought he was gonna make me get up and talk or like say something. So he's like, "And my wonderful girlfriend," and he like said it like he stepped like tripped on his words, but I didn't notice it. And then he said my name, and I was like, "I swear to God, if you make me get up there, I'm gonna leave. Like I don't like talking in front of big groups like that." And then in front of like all of our friends and family, he proposed in front of them, like with a camera, like with like the head instructor that came down from Georgia. It was like most special moment ever. And then they came out with this huge cake for us, and then they had like this huge bonfire after. It was just like the most idyllic, wonderful day of my life. It was awesome. It was amazing. Like I can't imagine like any other way that would have made that more special than to be around all the people who just like pour into us and just kind of keep us together and keep us sane. And then all at the same time, like they were all there. It was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
So cute.
Yeah, and I didn't expect it at all. Like there was no traces of like nervousness, no nothing. So yeah. Funny story about that though. My head instructor is kind of a maniac, and his idea, because everybody knew about it instead of me.
Has everyone kept their mouth shut?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Big mouths. Yeah. And so my head instructor, his idea was that at the shooting range, that they pretended Nick got shot. Literally got shot with a gun. I'm not kidding. And they like put pig's blood on him. This was his real idea. Pig's blood on him, and then like when I went over to think that he's like dying, then he pulls out a ring, and I told him I think that's the only reason I would have discharged a gun in a bad way. That was the craziest. But that's like our friends. That's the people we hang out with. This is like she would love this.
And that is like typical man.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, jujitsu's been a humongous part of our lives, and I think like I say, we were different people because of jujitsu, but like when we started dating again, like it was like night and day difference. Like he became a different person, like I became a different person, like in a really awesome way, where we got to do it together, but kind of separately because he's giant and I hate doing jujitsu with him. So we do it in a different way, I guess.
You guys roll together every once in a while.
Never. I don't.
You don't
He's
play
my
well
veto
together?
role. I don't know. I get the feeling that I'm gonna bite him when I roll with him, and I don't like that for me.
I love the self-control.
And he goes so nice on me, and then like I'll start like cross-facing him or something mean, and he'll like put like an ounce of pressure more, and I'll be like, "Oh, you're hurting me," and then it's done.
It's over.
The things you can tolerate from other men rolling with you, but not from your own.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
it is definitely, there's a thing there.
Yeah, I'm just a bad sport when it comes to rolling with him, and like his friends are like his size and larger, and I'll roll with them just fine, and I don't know what it is.
That's me recently with my husband. So.
And we started at the same time too, and he's like much better at jujitsu than I am. So like, it just also I think maybe that's part of it where I'm like, I don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah. It is frustrating, especially as a little white belt. When you roll with somebody and they're just like moving fucking circles around you, and you're like, I feel really stupid right now.
I have middling.
You're like, and they're just like slow motion. Yeah. You're like, wow.
It's worse when they're nice. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, when they give you good pressure, you can at least be like, I'm maintaining. But like when he's like just kind of moving around my body, just seeing if I'll do it, it's like, come on, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even actually know what you're going for right now, but cool.
Yeah.
I know it's something.
I know
things. And then I revert to biting. So I mean, then it's just not a good.
I love that. That's your self-defense. You
Literally.
do jujitsu, but your self-defense is I'm gonna bite you.
Yeah, my first time I rolled, Chance is one of our good friends, and I remember vividly that his arm just went over my face for like a nice crossface, and I put my teeth on his arm, and we both looked at each other, and he's like, "Are you gonna bite me right now?" I was like, "I think I am. I don't." I was just like, "Do we not do that?"
That's not a part of jujitsu. I
This
swear I saw an AI description. Bite it.
Right?
So yeah, that is my defense mechanism, apparently.
I love that so much.
I grew up with a brother, can you tell?
Oh, that is funny. So I do want to kind of rewind to earlier in your life. I don't know if I've ever asked you this question, but I know you're big into lifting. So can we talk about that journey a little bit? I know Tori probably has some questions for you. She told me she might have some questions for you, but her notepad is writing on it now. So maybe she has notes. She
bullet points down of what I want to ask.
So can you just jump into like lifting and where you were at and all of that?
Yeah. So fun fact about me: I lost 100 pounds when I was 20 years old. So I come from like a big family, big stock in general. I was 250 pounds when I was 19. And then it's such a silly thing where people are like, how did you lose weight? And I was literally just going on a vacation to Washington, D.C. in December. And I was going to meet my sister, and I was like, I'm just not loving like how I feel right now. I should go to the gym for like a month. And then I ended up just like really liking it, and it just kind of took off from there. And then thankfully in my case COVID happened, so that I was able to stay home and work out more, and like gyms started like kind of having openings and stuff like that where I was able to work out more and run outside. So yeah, like I just kind of got into it from like little baby steps, and I did like spin classes and things like that. And it just kind of stuck. And so I just kept doing it for a long time. And then I got into strength training. And just my love for that kind of brought me in a whole slew of things. I've done strongman competitions, powerlifting competitions. I ran a marathon. I've done CrossFit competitions just because I thought that was like cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and so I mean, I lost 100 pounds in like the first year and a half of lifting, and that was mostly just because I had so much time on my hands to do things, and I was able to kind of learn about nutrition. And I was talking to Tori about this this week, that every like nutrition bit of information I had was self-taught, because I came from a family where it's like, what is a calorie? Like, we ate mac and cheese every day for like 3 of my 7 meals a day. So like, it was just not something I had prior. So a lot of that was just learning, finding the right people to be around. And as I got into like gym culture, you just start meeting more folks who know more things than you do, and you're like, you keep up in a good way. Like, not to be cheesy, but like iron sharpens iron. You meet people who are like, oh yeah, I do this thing or that thing, and it stuck for me, and maybe that works for you. So I was able to kind of like evolve a little bit as and still young. I mean, I was 19 and 20 when I lost most of the weight. So it was like a really nice time in my life where I could do all that. And I always say, like, I know a lot of folks who do jujitsu, and they're like, I lost all this weight from jujitsu. And it would be so epic if I would have started jujitsu earlier to be like a success story. But I came in to jujitsu because it was in the gym that I lifted at. So it was already kind of like there for me. But yeah, I mean, lifting has been a huge part of my life. It gave me opportunities that I really didn't see coming. Like, I'm a coach for a job. That's what I do. And the only reason I got that job was because I had a friend who just knew I liked lifting, and that was like how I got the gig. I mean, obviously I'm certified and I'm highly educated now in that world, but it opened a lot of really cool doors that I just never really expected.
Sweet.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't have Elise on Instagram, or this is your first time hearing about Elise, can you please give your handle, because I'm obsessed with it.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I actually got this from my sister when I was trying to make one, and it's just Elise lifts things up and down. Because that's all she knew of what I did, and it is pretty apt. I like it a lot.
One of the first times I met you, and then I found out that's what your Instagram handle was, I was like, I love that. That's so cute.
I literally was just telling Chelsea the other day, I was like, so before, I think it was before I even started jujitsu, and it might have been after, but I had actually come across your page.
Oh.
Like, it was just yours came across my For You page type of thing. And I remember I followed you because I was like, I just like her name. Like, that is so funny and just so like obvious to what your page is all about. And I was like, I love it. So I'm just going to follow along. And then it was after I'd even like met you or known who you were for a while in jiu-jitsu that I like put 2 and 2 together. I was like, wait a second, that's the same person. And I was just like, that's a weird coincidence.
I like that. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's sick.
But I love it. I love your page. I go and look at it for motivation.
Thank you.
Do you have specific questions?
Well, mainly like, okay, so with your weight loss and with weightlifting, how do you think that doing those things, because your only experience with jiu-jitsu is already doing those things, how do you think that has like helped your jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, like when I first started, I just came out of marathon season, so in my head I was like, I'm gonna be a rock star cardio wise. Wrong.
Not different cardio.
Yeah. So I had come out of marathon season and I went straight into powerlifting, strongman. So I was in a pretty strong state when I started. And so it was good and bad in the way that I started. I would hold on to things. I'd use my strength a lot. But then also the guys would be like, oh, she's strong. I can go hard on her. And it's like, wait, no, I don't actually know what I'm doing. So it was good in the way that I was able to kind of like survive a little bit easier because I'd be able to like frame a little harder than I probably would have if I didn't have like muscle or like just my movement was generally a little bit better. But I did feel like I was kind of at a disadvantage when I started because they're like, oh yeah, she's tough, she can take it, and then it just was like so it was a shock. But then too to be coming from a totally different type of cardio where I'm doing like 10-minute miles. I'm not a very fast runner, so I'm like doing low and slow cardio to all of a sudden like explosive hit, like you're starting from nothing to something and like trying to mitigate that fight. I was gonna say flight for life.
I mean,
you might have to get flight for life out of there. There's a couple times I felt like.
Yeah, my fight or flight was something that really needed to get worked on because like when I'm running, it's just like you slow your breath down, and then I mean strongman
it can be rhythm.
Yeah. And strongman you sit down and you eat a snack in between your sets, so it's like a totally different thing. Where I was doing all three at the same time, and I eventually, I mean, I just pretty much lift to maintain strength now, and then it's mostly jujitsu. So it helped in a way, but also it's just kind of like I don't know. There was different expectations for me, which was cool, but also it was a lot to live up to.
Yeah. How many times do you think you get when you roll with a guy? Wow, you're way stronger than I thought.
All the time. Seriously, all the so I love Nick so much because when he watches me roll, this even happened with Mark last weekend because he was like, every time it's like a man he's trying to be nice, you're a lady, right? So you start out, you're trying to like feel out what pressure you can give. Like I told him I was a blue belt, but like that could mean different things to different people. So Nick says that his favorite thing to watch is like when I go with a guy and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, like she's stronger than usual, you know, and then you change up your game a little bit because it's not just like letting him work. You kind of have to like put the screws to him a little bit. So it definitely like it's interesting when a guy's like, oh man, that's different. Yeah. And even last year I got accused of steroid use, which I'm gonna take that to my grave because that was like my favorite thing ever. I was like, yes, I'm strong. And I mean it's usually people who aren't like in the lifting world as well. Like it's just like they do jujitsu and maybe they don't have like a lot of women who like do strength sports outside of that. So like it's kind of fun to I don't know. It's a little fun advantage sometimes.
Yeah.
But then again, you get that where they're like, oh, I'm not going to go easy on you. And then you get like smashed right away. Like my head instructor, whenever we roll, he says it every time. He's like, you don't roll like any woman I know. Like you're way stronger. And then it's like the heaviest pressure you've ever felt for like 5 minutes, you know? So again, good and bad.
Yeah. Do you think that for other girls, it's important to implement like weightlifting or strength training if they are training jujitsu, especially if they plan to compete?
1,000,000,000,000,000 jagillion%. I mean, so I'm a big proponent of weightlifting across the board. Just longevity, I mean, bone density, cardiovascular health, mental health, physical. I mean, there are so many things where it's like lifting can cure a myriad of issues in your life. So like doing jujitsu is awesome, but it's important for the other parts of your life. Like for me, jujitsu is like my mental space. Like I go there if I'm having like a bad day or like it helps me maintain like my community and my mental space. But to keep my body in check as well, like you lift, that's just part of it. And like I don't think it should be really like negotiable if you like. Not saying you have to be like a power lifter, but like some sort of strength training, some sort of mobility, something on the outside. Because like if you're doing this stuff, you need to have the strength, the muscle, the bones to back it up. Because this stuff is hard on your body. Like, I mean, I think of all the times that your ankle could have popped if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia. Like you're less dense. It's super duper important, I think. And again, jujitsu, like aside, I think women should just lift in general. It's just something that you can take with you. It's something that keeps your brain healthy for longer. I mean, if you want to get old in a good way, like lifting is the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to start doing more like stretching and like a joint.
She hit 30 this year, you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are babies.
I'm over 30 and a half, but we're not going to talk about
over
that.
30. Oh my god.
But the older you get, I mean, you can really feel like that difference in your joints, and I feel like it was a mental thing when I turned 30 that I was like, oh my god, shit just hurts constantly.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden, it's not just like a given anymore. Like, you know, there's things like I have a lot of clients who are like, most of my clients are between 50 and 70. So like, I have ladies in their lives where it's like, oh, I've been healthy my whole life, and all of a sudden, like, shit started to hurt. Like, what's going on? And I'm young, so I don't want to be hypocritical, but also I know a lot about body mechanics and movement, where it's like your body hasn't adapted because you haven't put the screws to your own body. Like, that's where, I mean, that's how mobility works, right? But like, same with lifting, like, your joints get stronger by putting pressure on your joints. Like, it's not going to be easier when you just let it, you know. And like with jiu-jitsu too, you get so much good practice with like moving your hips and your knees in ways that you just never have had to do before. So it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting that you say that, but it's something that like, it's an uphill battle. You gotta, if you don't fight against it, like, it will get you.
Yeah. Natalie's over here like, you guys, shut up.
Take fish oil, you'll be fine.
No idea.
Yeah, what's coming.
That's the worst part. I'm like,
no idea.
This is how I feel at 30. Yeah. I don't want to know what I'm going to feel like in 10 years because I am active right now. So, like,
but
I also don't do the most.
A lot of women are able to hit their prime or like start to hit their stride 30, 40 years old because women have less short twitch muscle fibers than men do. So you're able to really keep that like muscle longevity for a longer amount of time. And like some Olympic weightlifters, her name's Christy something on Instagram. She started weightlifting when she was 40, and she's like world ranked gold medalist Olympic lifter. And you are able to hit those things later in life, but like again, it's not without like a very robust program. Like it's not just something that comes naturally anymore, but like you're not counted out after 30. Like that's when women start to hit a legit stride, and then also like your frontal lobe is developed and you're less stupid and you're just able to be, you know, like I'm hoping, I'm not even 30 yet, so I'm saying all this stuff as like a little lady, but like I hope all that's true about when you get older, and just all these like stupid 20s things start to disappear. Like, I don't know, so many little stupid issues.
Natalie said that the 30s were, because when I was starting to panic about turning 30, Natalie was, well, you say it, you said it.
30s are the best decade. Solidly the best decade you will live your life.
I have never
heard
30s. Somebody say that the 30s were awful. Like everybody I've ever talked to was like amazing. My 30s were the best years of my life.
Best shape of my life in my 30s. I was the prettiest, like actual physical appearance, hottest in my 30s. Seriously, because you don't do stupid shit with your hair anymore. You know how to dress better. The whole thing, it all just comes in. 45, shit goes a little south. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's when you start seeing some shit droop and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you guys all right now, take my age like advice. Stop spending too much money on skincare. None of it really matters. You just need moisturizer. Plain and simple. Just keep it moisturized. All that shit is a lot of money that you're spending a lot of money on. None of it matters. But anyway, because it's all just good marketing. Mm-hmm. But that being said, 30s were phenomenal for me. Young, like still young enough to want to do all the shit. You got all the energy, but mature enough not to spend your nights at the bar like we were talking about earlier, so that your days are spent hungover. Like,
all of us are.
You're all pretty sober, right?
I'm sober.
Yeah.
Well, California sober.
California sober. You don't generally have the same hangovers.
I had, like most Wisconsin kids, I had my little binge phase when you're like 18 to 21 or whatever, and then I was California sober for a while. Now I'm like sober.
Same. Yeah. I was actually just thinking about that. I was like, because for a hot minute I was California sober, and then I was trying to math about how long it's been for sober.
I just remember we were watching, was that Main Character?
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a year ago now, and I brought these gummies, and Will and Tori tried them. They were like, "What was that?"
Dude,
shit?
I was like a damn zombie on the couch. I was like, "Get that shit away from me! I am too old for that." Like
It was so funny.
No,
I don't even, and it was just like normal gummies, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'm a little baby with it though. I was like, you need 2.5 milligrams.
Once you get, I mean, like, we've been sober for a hot second now, but once you get sober, you realize how many other people are doing it too, and it's not as weird as you think. Like, when we went, like, sober, we're like, God, this sucks, and nobody else is feeling this, and then it's like, most of the people in jiu-jitsu, most of the people in the gym, like, yeah, and, like, I think we're kind of, me personally, we're kind of in a bubble, and it's a really awesome one where it's like, oh, that's normal, most of us are sober, just so you know, it's like, oh, okay, this has just been, like, ingrained in me that you have to do this thing because everyone else does the thing.
Well, and I think a lot of it,
Wisconsin.
Exactly.
yeah, a lot of it is Wisconsin, because that's honestly probably one of the reasons why Wisconsin won't legalize marijuana is because it'll shut down
the
tavern league is like the
tavern league.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know it's bad. So I was at a comedy show last night, and one of the openers, literally half of his skit was making fun of Wisconsin. He's not from Wisconsin. He's making fun of Wisconsin and how a DUI is just a misdemeanor and a $300 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's embarrassing for us.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody's like, haha, and I'm like living in the moment. It's fine. It's funny, but it's not. And it's like that is crazy.
What you're describing, Ken got sober. I'm not technically sober. I've just never been much of a drinker, so I can go out with friends and have a drink, and I will likely have one because I don't actually really love alcohol that much. When I was younger, I preferred to get high because I didn't like being drunk. But anyway, Ken had to get sober. Like, he had to go through that of getting sober, and he was, I think we were like 33 around the time, and he literally, like, we felt that. Because we were in different circles at that time.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, anytime he would be like, no, I'll just have a soda. Why?
Yep.
Why are you just having a soda? And all of us, it was weird. Like, we didn't hang out with anybody for a long time just because of that.
Yeah.
And
So,
a woman, I feel like, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant?
Oh, yeah, there's always
a
a
reason.
reason. Yeah.
Immediately.
Always a reason. And it's like, okay. But now, given the circles we run in now, nobody, when he says he doesn't drink, nobody says anything to him.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's our circle.
I went out recently, like a month ago, with a group of like a friend's friend, you know, like not my circle. And I was just having a Diet Coke and everyone else was drinking. And I just remember them being like, is there, like, did you have a problem with it? It's like, okay, even if I did, like, that's such a weird,
don't be rude.
Right. You know, I just tell people I'm sober and they can take that how they want. Like, I had a problem, I didn't, like, but that's the fact remains, you know? Like, I think if people say, like, I don't drink, it's like, are you not drinking because you don't, I guess? But if you say I'm sober, it's kind of just like, door shut, don't ask again.
Because it makes it awkward. I love that. I love making it awkward for people because I'm such a nosy person, so, like, I want to know all the details. So I love just leaving someone with, like, oh my God, did she have a drink out? Like, was she bad? And I just chose to stop drinking. But I love it. I'll just say, oh no, I'm sober.
I like it.
And they're like, oh.
When I first kind of gave up, so I've done it 2 different times where I'm like, I'm not drinking anymore. And then I got back into it, and then I obviously stopped drinking again. It's more of a health thing for me. Like, my stomach does not tolerate it at all. Like, it would tolerate something for a minute, and then it would be like, we hate that actually now. But people, I feel like now are better about respecting it, because when I first quit drinking, everyone was like, just take a shot. Just take a shot. I'm like, no, I don't drink alcohol. Just take a shot. No, I don't want to take a shot. Just have a drink. Like, relax. Like, live a little. I'm living a lot, actually, and I don't need that poison in my body to live that way. So I do feel like in the last probably year or 2, it's become more of a, like,
super popular.
People are giving up drinking. I see it on Facebook all the time and Instagram where it's like, kids nowadays are out here getting coffees on Saturday morning, and when I was in high school, we were dying in a cornfield.
Literally.
I think more of them are
actually
stoned now, though. I don't think they've given up getting inebriated. I think they've just chosen some kind of gummy or THC
way of
over alcohol.
Yeah.
I do, those things make me laugh where they're like, kids are more not drinking, they're more sober. I'm like, they're not more sober, they're just not drinking alcohol.
They're at a coffee shop, microdosed on mushrooms right now. Like,
kids are gonna party. Teens are gonna party. They're just gonna choose different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a lot our generation, like millennials kind of generation, that really was like flip the script on it, and
Yeah.
it's just like a huge sober movement right now, and it's like you go to a lot of bars, and before it was they'd maybe have one NA beer, and it would be like the worst, nastiest, cheapest.
Like a Busch Light NA.
Like
So
not
gross
I
as
don't
shit.
even O'Donnell's or I don't know. There's one that's like
Oh, I know.
O'Donnell's,
O'Donnell's,
yeah.
O'Donnell's,
Yeah.
is it? It's like the worst NA ever.
Definitely
Well, now
not gonna
they
get
have-
sponsored
but-
by them.
No,
No.
well that's okay. But
Sorry,
now there's, like,
O'Donnell's,
you go
if you're
to
listening.
bars and they have full NA
Or like
menu.
mocktail.
They have the
menus.
mocktails.
Full
That's
mocktail
awesome.
menu.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I love
Yeah.
getting mocktails. That's fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of jujitsu people are stay away from it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Or-
because a lot of them are
Or
Trainers.
stoners.
well, that, but they're also like they used to be addicted. Like they,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they're using jujitsu to deal with the addictions, and
Yeah,
you know, that happens a
Jiu-Jitsu
lot.
people
So
seem to have addictive personalities.
They-
a lot
yeah.
of the
You gotta
time.
have
Yeah.
something wrong.
I,
in your
got-
brain.
you
I
gotta
feel
be a
like
little
you
bit-
have
be
to
a
be an
little fucked
addictive
up.
person to
Yeah.
want to do this shit in
Yeah.
the first place.
True.
So.
Yeah.
I was amazed though, like after realizing how many of the folks in jiu-jitsu who are sober, but also just like how awesome people are in jiu-jitsu. Like you just have like I don't know if I just walked into it being like big scary people who want to hurt you. Like that's
Oh,
kind of
no.
how I came into
I
it.
was the same way.
But like it's like the best, most wholesome family people you've ever met who
Yeah.
are just like I mean, you make sourdough pretzels. Like that's freaking adorable. You know,
Sourdough
just like
chocolate chip cookies.
some of the most awesome folks ever where it's like, okay, this is not, you know, what you really expect. And everyone's like tatted up, like looks like kind of spooky,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not that at all. It's such a cool like dichotomy really with all the jiu-jitsu folks. It
the
makes me
first
happy.
time I
I
met
love when you
Ken.
tell me this.
So Ken is like a puppy dog, right? Love him. But when I first started training, I looked and I was like, he is terrifying.
Criminal.
Literally, those were my exact words. I was like, he looks like a criminal. And I don't ever want to roll with him. I think I rolled with him once at the old gym, and then it was like
He
once.
will shank me.
Literally,
Definitely had a sentence.
it was like as soon as you guys opened here, and I was really good friends with Natalie, and I was like, shit, I gotta get to know Ken. He's really, really scary, and now I just talk shit to Ken all the time.
So not scary at all. But you know what?
He has a resting bitch face.
I'm sure part of it is that the RBF, but he also I know he's tatted up and he's got tats on his head. Like Will,
Yeah.
same thing. As soon as they have him on their head or their
Neck.
hands, I think their hands, their head, and their neck. People are, you know, and Ken's got
You're
him
an
on
asshole.
Yeah,
Hell
Ken's
yeah.
got him on his hands and his head. And
Yeah.
so
The-
yeah, I know
The
that
neck, the
there's
chest, the hands, the head.
right.
It's like a universal sign.
Yeah.
For
I'm
people
looking to see where all your tattoos are.
Leave
Like,
me alone.
And
I
I know,
love it.
yeah.
It is like it's like this like radar. You
Right.
like go into the grocery store and people just like don't talk. Nobody talks to you. Nobody tries to ask you things. They
I'm
just
gonna
like
look
leave
around.
you alone.
Yeah.
I hate people.
But Kenny is not at all. No.
No.
He's the father of
Oh,
two.
yeah.
He's like he really is just like kind of a puppy dog. Like
He's gonna hate us for saying that.
No, I don't think he likes the phrasing puppy dog. I'm sure he's not gonna like it. Fresh and fruity. I don't think,
I was just gonna say. I mean,
Professor.
I don't think he's gonna love that
He's
either.
a Yeah.
Professor Ken, fresh and fruity
Professor
Klansman
Ken.
to the stage.
But he really he's not. He's a nice guy.
No,
he totally
he's so
is a
nice.
nice guy.
I think that's
so.
the cool part about jujitsu too, is it kind of taught me to just, I mean, obviously, like, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, you
Right.
hear that your
Yeah.
whole life, but then you're like touching
Literally.
these people where you're like, oh my god, you're gonna kill me, and like you just realize that it's like, oh, that's Dallas, the fireman from Illinois, who's just super nice. You know, it's like,
Has
oh.
3 kids at home.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Like, his wife homeschools. Like, they're just, like, really nice people where it's like, now I'm just kind of, you walk a little more confident through the world. Like, people are just generally good. Like,
Mostly
I
they're
think,
just
like,
people.
yeah. It's
I
nice to
feel like
know.
it also gave me a different look of like you do not know who you're walking
No.
next to on the street.
Oh,
you know,
Unless you
yeah.
look at their ears. Look
well,
at their ears.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's true.
He looks
um,
like he knows what a Kimura is.
yeah, yeah. Like the comedian I went to, her husband actually does jujitsu. And I found that I loved her for a long time, but she like had posted his a fight to win that he did, and I was like, and then he was there last night, and he had his ears. Well, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah.
She's crying.
Anyways, he had
I'm
his
so
ears
sorry.
blown up, and I was like, oh, that must be him.
He tried to back out a 2-minute triangle.
Yeah. I was like, oh. I've seen younger people by that at least.
Yeah.
We always talk about that with our friend. So I've mentioned Chance a couple times, but he's just like kind of like a dorky, like metal worker. He just has like a long braided beard. Looks like he watches anime, like just like that type of guy. But like he has like simulated like death on my body before, where I'm like, oh god, like anybody it could be anyone, they're among us. It really is.
You got Alex Docha.
Yes.
Can you imagine how easy it would be to underestimate that dude?
Oh my god.
Ray and I were talking about that today on our way back from Madison, and I can't remember how it came up, but I was like, yeah, like Alex. I was like, he's got a couple of MMA fights under his belt. He's like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like 3-0.
He's 3-0. Yeah, he never lost his MMA.
Yeah, he's like, what? I was like, yeah. So you're walking around and you see Alex on the road, or side of the road, and you're like, oh, that guy's not threatening. Little do you know, that guy is very threatening.
That guy will climb you like a tree
into a pretzel so fast.
Literally, he climbed somebody, climbed up him, got a triangle
in an MMA fight.
Yeah,
like so kid could punch him in the face,
right.
And he's still like,
but he's just absolutely like enduring too, because he got kicked. One of his MMA fights. I was just like, oh, like it's over. Like I was certain it was over because he got kicked dead in the face. He just kept coming. It barely phased him.
We need to have Alex on the podcast.
We do
talk about him.
We talk about him, I think, more than anybody else.
Yeah. Because he's just such a phenomenon. Like he's such an anomaly. I think he's so.
It's just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He's very unpredictable in whatever the way he presents himself. I'm just like, I don't even know how to take you ever.
Yeah.
But he's just like,
sometimes sweetest. I'm like, are you serious? Are you joking right now?
Yeah.
He's such a cool dude.
But he's so chill at the same time.
But if you ever like go out to dinner with any of like your jujitsu friends and stuff, you just feel so safe with those folks too.
Yeah.
He's like Alex. It's like, dude, I'm fine. I'm good. Like nothing's happening.
A group of people look at you wrong, and you're like, yeah, don't look at us like that. We'll fuck you up.
We're not the right table to.
Back to
you.
Well, we've gone off on some.
We have.
I'm so sorry.
My chair keeps squeaking. I'm like, oh.
That's me too. Then don't worry.
I do want to talk a little bit about how we met you. Because we have an event coming up.
Oh yeah.
And we love our event that will be coming up. We're not going to release any information other than I will say who we are having as instructors.
You can say that.
But no other information at this time to the public. So sorry, guys. But we have scheduled our 3rd annual women's seminar and open mat. And we have Mel Iverson from Seraphin, who is a brown belt. She'll be teaching a session. Courtney Labai, who... Purple?
I think she's purple. But she's
purple,
but she doesn't do a lot of ranking. She's mostly MMA,
and nogi.
Yeah.
So, but she's out of Primal MKE here in Milwaukee. I believe, like we said, purple belt, and then hopefully myself if my shoulder allows me. So it will be back by then. I will be on that.
You might not be rolling, but you'll be able to teach.
Yeah, I'll teach a session, but I won't probably be rolling yet. But that's how we met you. Was at our first annual one. So can you talk a little bit about that, because I know Nick sent us a very sweet text message after that event.
It was very cute.
So if you can just like talk about how you found out about it and then what it did for you.
So Nick, my fiance, came here just to underground to an open mat because he's all about cross training. And so he met Natalie, and I remember he came home and he's like, "You're gonna love this gym owner. Like, she's awesome. Natalie's great." And in my head, I was like, I cannot meet a jiu-jitsu woman. I'm scared. Like, I was the only lady I knew who did jiu-jitsu, so I was just so intimidated. And then he sent me this event that it was like a free women's seminar, and I'd been trying to get into a seminar, but also like I'm a nanny. I don't really make a lot of money. Like I just couldn't like justify going to $100 seminar. So then he sent me the women's one, and it was free, and I was like, ah, oh, damn it.
There goes all my exclusives.
I know. Shit. I was like, shoot, okay. So then I had a friend who was training at the time, and she and I were supposed to come up together, and then she canceled. So then I was like, golden opportunity, I'm going to cancel out. And then Nick kind of put the screws to me. He's like, it's a day. Just take it. It's a day. Like, just try it. And so that was my first experience meeting other ladies who did jiu-jitsu. So I came up. I was super scared. I didn't know anybody. But coming to Underground and like meeting, I mean, I didn't meet you yet, but like Natalie and Chelsea, it was such a cool experience for me because I was just like, I had been so out of my league in the whole jiu-jitsu world, and I had started to kind of fade a little bit in the like my love for it because I'd been the only woman at a boys gym for a long time, and it just became part of where I was feeling like, you know what, maybe I don't really belong here. Like maybe this just isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Because Nick was like making some really great strides. Like he was just loving what he was doing, like doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And then I was like, I'm still getting stuck inside control for 5 minutes every single time I roll, and it really stinks. And so I came to the seminar. I was watching like craziest weird moment, but I was watching Chelsea do a knee on belly, and that was my aha moment where I was like, oh my god, I can be on top. What? Literally had never spent time on top ever. And then Chelsea was doing a knee on belly, and I was like, you can do that? Like, what? So, yeah, so that was kind of my moment where I was like, okay, I'm not the only woman, but two, like, these women are badass, and they're able to, like, dominate in a way that I had just never experienced. And so, like, I had been 8 months into jiu-jitsu when I started, or when I came here. And so I was just, like, all of a sudden, like, totally reignited. Like, I came home, and Nick was like, what the hell did they do to you? Like, did you take ayahuasca or something? Like, you were like, literally, like, something was different when I came home, and I was like, no, I like this sport now. Like, this is awesome. And then I started, like, finding other women. I followed a bunch of ladies from the event, too, so then it was, like, you know, my social media started to become, like, more inclusive in the lady sphere of what jiu-jitsu is, and it became way less spooky. So, like, for me, I was like, oh my gosh, one, I belong here, but two, like, I could be good at this if I try. Like, I came back and I was doing the belly to the guys, and they were like, what are you? Yes. And so it was such a cool moment for me to, like, one, meet other women, but just to, like, I mean, I think that's what the whole point of the seminar was. Mm-hmm. And, like, the fact that it was free, it literally took out every single excuse that I possibly had. And I learned a lot. But also, like, I mean, even seeing, like, Rachel, who was, I think, purple belt, or maybe she got her brown belt.
She probably brown. Yeah, she would have been brown.
Like, she was also just awesome to see where it's like, oh, she's been doing this for a long time. Like, I had no, like, for me, I was, again, the only woman. Like, there wasn't even a woman before me who was, like, a blue belt. Like, it was, like, that was all I knew, was just, like, yeah, usually they stay for, like, 6 months or so, and then they quit, and that's about all we had as, like, the precedent. So it was just really awesome to see, like, and, like, Natalie, too, like, you kick ass, and you're not, like, 25, you know, like, no, it was,
I'm 51, you can say it.
But also you're not 25, but you know what I mean, like, it was just something where I was like, I can do this for a hot second, and, like, it didn't have to be discouraging, and it didn't have to be horrible. So, like, that's why Nick sent, like, a really nice message to Ken to be like, you changed the game, because now she likes it all of a sudden. And it was starting to get to the point where I was like, once a week maybe I'd skip certain weeks if I knew we were doing things like side control or, like, stuff like that, where I would just, like, become really, like, cherry picky, and it wasn't, like, good for my game at all. But I came back with, like, just a fire under my ass. It's like it totally changed how my trajectory of jiu-jitsu, like, completely.
Oh my god. I love your story. I knew the story somewhat, obviously, because I saw the text from Nick. But I don't think we've ever talked so much about it. Like, I didn't realize it was that deep.
It was.
Like, so that's amazing.
And too, at the time, I was, like, trying to get, like, sober. So I was also, like, an event where I was, like, I didn't, like, smoke beforehand, and, like, I just came and I was like, dude, this is gonna suck. Like, I'm gonna be bored. This is gonna stink. And then all of a sudden it was just, like, not even in my head at all. Like, I was just watching women roll, like, 40 women were there. Like, it was just really cool to be like, yeah, this is what I can do. Like, I could be there one day.
Such a wide range of skill levels, too. That was cool.
Right. And just, again, like, ages, too. Like, again, the women that I'd seen competing were, like, 20-year-old, like, Spitfire ladies who were awesome, but also, like, I can't do that when I'm past, like, 40. Like, that sounds so scary. But then, like Courtney was there, a couple other ladies.
Who did you work with?
Her. Yes. Why am I blanking on her name? She's a wonderful lady, but she's from Open Guard. I have to think about it. But she was super wonderful.
Erin?
No, I think she was a white belt, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's going. I'll remember.
Yeah, I'll remember it because she's on my Instagram. I even went to her house to train her at one point, but I can't think of her name right now. Sorry. But she was really wonderful too.
I can picture her.
Yes,
face.
yeah.
I just can't think of her name right now.
But it was good. Like, she was a very gentle, like, a person for me to work with too, because, like, in jiu-jitsu it'd been like, men are like, you are so strong, I'm gonna go hard on you. So I also hadn't had that experience where it was like a lady just, like, flowing and just teaching me, like, things in a slower motion, like actual learning how to flow. And all of a sudden, like, my fight or flight stopped like ticking off. Like I wasn't like afraid to die. Like when we were rolling, it wasn't like I was dominant by any means, but I just wasn't like, oh my god. Like that's how I felt for so long. Like my instructors would always be like, calm down, just control your breathing, calm down. But it's like, no, like my body thinks I'm getting attacked right now. Like this is where I'm at in my head and I can't do anything different. But then when I was with ladies, it was like, oh, my brain turned on. I actually kind of remember what we're doing, like a little bit, you know, like it was it's a whole different thing. So I'm certainly not like, I don't only go with ladies now because we don't really have a big ladies program, but I'd make it a point to at least go to open mats that have a few women because you just learn so much with other ladies. So, I mean, if you haven't done the seminar or you're thinking about it this year, do it. Even if you're not from around here, get a hotel and do it because it's just, I mean, it really was just life changing in a like not even in a cheesy way, like, you know, they saved my life, but like it was something that like I would have quit within a few months. I could have felt it. Like I was like yay close to being done. So it was something that I am so grateful for. And I mean, the fact that it's free is insane. Like that's a whole different thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest. It started as like an open mat. We want to do a women's open mat, and we were just like,
really?
Yes.
Yeah. It took off. Like
it took off.
Everything they do starts this big.
Well, you know us. You've known us long enough now to realize it. But yeah, it started off as Natalie and I are like, let's do a women's open mat. Let's try to get a bunch of people here, like, and just support the women's jiu-jitsu community. And then it was, oh, well, we could probably do like seminars. And then it was, we're good friends with Rachel, so we're like, hey, Rachel, would you want to teach a session? And then it was, I have our women's program, so it was I was going to teach a session, and then we're like, we should have one more. So then we had Brooke. And then it turned into, well, let's make it a charity event. And let's do a like raffle and like door prizes and this and that. And now it just keeps growing every year, which is great. But it's awesome to hear people say that it affects them like that, because sometimes people will be like, it's just a seminar and open mat. But like last year we had 12 different gyms represented, and you've been to both of them. So like you saw the difference where the first one, it was a lot of people from the area, but last year we had a lot of people that came from further away. So it was super cool, and it's super cool to hear that it was able to help you and get you like fired up about it again.
But also the fact that you're like, there's not really an opportunity to connect with other women in the area, even if they're not from the same state, like within the Midwest, really. Like, unless you're at a competition and your competitor's cool, like, then maybe you'd get, like, information and stuff. But that was kind of what Jessica Mosier, that was it. Sorry, Jessica. I knew her last name from her Instagram, and I can't believe I blanked on it so hard. Sorry. Anyway, unless, like, your competitor is really cool, and, like, that's how I met Michaela. Like, we connected after because she was awesome. But there's not a place where you can be like, oh my gosh, what gym do you go to? When is your open mat? What's your social media? Like, there's such a like girlhood aspect of that to be able to like truly connect with people outside of just that day.
Yeah.
So like there was even ladies who didn't like roll, but I still like we still connected and we were able to like talk. Like it doesn't have to be like you're on the mat necessarily. Like there was like kids and ladies outside of that too who were also there, where it's like this can be like it's a legit thing. Like meeting other ladies like that is such a cool opportunity. And again, you kind of have like a sisterhood going at that point where it's like, I bet most of those ladies go back to their gyms and they're one of at most 10. Like there's not a lot of people.
10 is a big women's program.
Yes, we have 7 on a really good day, but usually it's 3. So like going to something like that where it's like, oh my gosh, you would love this person, or maybe you need to get connected with this person, and like there's just such a good like networking web that you have from something like that. Where I mean, even the Helena seminar was great, but like having a women's only thing, just it changes the game for sure.
With the first one, so fun fact, I just was, when we were open mat upstairs, I was looking at all of our pictures on the wall. We are standing next to each other.
No freaking way.
In the picture. And I didn't think I had met you until like this year. I'm pretty sure we were like, oh, we finally get to meet.
Right. Because I recognized you from Chelsea's Instagram, so I was like, I've been stalking you for a long time.
Yeah, and I was like, I've heard so much about you. I already feel like I know you and everything, but I was just looking, like I was waiting, and I was looking at the picture. I'm like, what are the odds that we're literally standing right next to each other?
That's so awesome.
Because I didn't know anybody either.
Well, you were a baby at that time, right?
Because it was October, right?
It was October 22nd.
So I had been for like 1.5 months
Oh, geez.
at that point. And not even, because I did September, technically. I came for like the month of September. And then the beginning of October, I injured my shoulder. So I was like just feeling good enough to come. Will's like, you should still just go, like just go experience it. And I was like, okay, but I was so scared because I didn't know anybody. And it was one of those where I was like it was a little overwhelming, so new, but I was just like looking at all these girls who have so much experience, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, I can be one of them one day.
Yeah, seriously.
And it was just really
and
cool.
the cool part too is that like a lot of those ladies you'll also see in competition. Like we were talking about the Jeff Curran Invitational, and there was ladies who came to the seminar who I recognize that are going to be competing, and it's like, oh, like now this web gets tighter, you know, now I've seen you compete or whatever, you know, there's just things where it's like there's overlap, and it's just really cool to be like, okay, you're my weight class, maybe one day we'll have a competition, or like shoot them a message, and like there's the women's Midwest group chat where they're just like, they'll just shoot things out like, does anyone want to compete here? Like, you just know ladies, and like you have like your little network, and it's such a cool feeling, really, because I think the boys get that just kind of naturally, because that's how like Nick was, that's how he would talk about jiu-jitsu. He'd be like, oh, I know Ken from here, and he met him at like there was a fight that we saw Ken, and we talked for like a second, but like he knew all these people from the places where I was just like, I don't know anybody, you know. I just kind of felt like a child where I'd be like dawdling behind him, you know.
Just me with them at like the first like competitions I went to, they're like, yeah, I'm with this person, this person, this person. I'm just like following them like a little puppy dog.
I know, it's such an insular community, really, but like when you're a woman, it kind of feels like you're on the out. At least I did. I felt like I was on the out a little bit. So once I started to get to know more ladies, like I think Grappling Industries or Naga, the competition that Nick hurt his leg.
Oh, Naga.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I knew a lot of people where I was just like hopping around, and it felt good to be like, okay, I really truly do belong here, and it's something that I have to tell myself a lot sometimes, but it's such a good feeling to just like recognize folks, and like Amanda DeRoca. Love you. She's wonderful. But like I knew her from I saw her at the seminar, and then we competed against each other. So again, it just kind of it makes the world a little bit smaller in a really awesome way. That I like a lot.
It's funny because that Naga specifically that you were at, I had that same feeling where it was like the first time that I went to a competition, I was like, oh my god, I know her, and I know Becca, and I know Amanda, and I'm like, I can go by I don't even need them anymore. I can go say hi to all these people on my own, and I just like left my husband. Usually I'm either following them or I'm like with him, and then I was like, you can stay over there.
See you later. Bye.
I literally told him, I was like, you can stay with Ray because he knows nobody. So I was like, you stay there. I'm going over and I'm gonna talk to the girls.
Nick made a comment. He's like, you were just such a social butterfly that day. I was like, yes, I was. I know.
He was like trying to like drag me out, and I was like, I am still talking.
Yeah. I mean, Nick hurt himself, and like I was able to like I was a wild mess because he just got a new job, and then he like tore his hamstring the same day. So then like I was able to have you guys near me too, so I was like crying, and then like Natalie came up to me. I was like, I just need a friend. I literally just turned into you.
I was certainly more than happy to give you a giant hug because you clearly needed it. But I just walked over to you, and I was not expecting the full like meltdown.
I was like, oh, Elise, come here. Like I was just so worried about him, and then to just have folks who were just like, you know, a friendly face, it just made the whole difference, because I was like, oh my god, like life is falling apart, like I rely on him, you know, and then it was just like, we have friends here, you'll be fine, you'll be alright. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. That's fine.
That's a good segue into next topic, is that you have started to compete a little bit more now.
I am.
So you've done tournaments.
Yes.
And then I had talked to you, and I was like, you should think about doing Orbit. So shout out to Orbit Submission. They are over in Iowa. Jordan Mills is like the main person that does the matchmaking, I believe. He's who I've talked to, at least. But they're great over there. And you just had a match with them.
Yes.
Do you want to like talk about all that?
Yes, I do. So I got my blue belt, and I just kind of stagnated completely. Not in my jiu-jitsu necessarily, but I competed like 3 times at white belt, and then I got my blue belt, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm a competitor now, and like there are people who are really good at blue belt. So I just kind of got really scared for like a year. And then this past fall, I did my first competition, tournament style. It was Naga, which was awesome. And then I was talking to Chelsea at the summer, or no, it was at your promotion.
Oh.
And I just remember you being like, I really want to see you against Rye. Like, you should check out Orbit. And it wasn't even on my radar at all. So I was like, yeah, I'll look into it. And then for this fight specifically, they stopped doing like pro fights, I think they're called.
Yeah, they had too many applications, so they had to come up with a way to like control it a little bit.
Yeah, so then they had like a way to funnel it in, and so that was the Orbit Challenger series. So I was able to do that. It was awesome. If you have the opportunity to get into Orbit, it's a really well-run organization. Like, just, it was a really good experience. So I was able to compete against Rye. She's awesome. She braided my hair before, which again,
She's
like,
the sweetest.
Girlhood, right? Like, that's so. I made her bread. She braided my hair. Like, it was.
They're texting before fighting each other.
Literally, this is what it's about.
We were texting like before we were fighting, and she's like, "Did we just become best friends?" I was like, "You were the best ever." So, we had a really awesome fight. I was able to go against her, and then another lady from Iowa. But again, just really well run organization, and I got an offer for a pro fight in June, which I accepted, which I'm super excited about also. So I've officially started like fight camp, because I have Malice in Wonderland, which is the gym's competition here at Underground, and then the next weekend is my Orbit fight. So it's gonna be a wild couple weeks, and then the next weekend is my bachelorette and wedding shower. so if my arm breaks in the weeks prior, whatever.
It'll make a good story.
Yes, but so part of what I was thinking about too was like, I got accepted this fight. This girl, I mean, I looked up her Instagram. She seems wonderful, like super awesome. But it popped into my head because she seems like a high level competitor. She does all sorts of fights. But it popped into my head when Chelsea, like, I first met you. You had that super fight where there was a purple belt that, like, it was a whole thing. But like, you were kind of the underdog in that situation. And I remember what Natalie said, because she was like, win-win. I mean, one, you win against somebody that had better experience than you, like underdog, or you lose and you lost against somebody that has more experience than you, win. Either way, it's a win. So like, I accepted the fight before I even looked this person up, which was a good idea. But I immediately started regretting it.
Been there, done that.
Yes, but again, I'm just excited to start putting myself out there and being just like, I could be good at this. Like, who freaking knows, So
anyone can get caught.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
You
are.
Yeah, you're a dog, dude.
I'm freaking down.
Shall we talk about the pit experience that we just had?
She's over here training for Malice in Wonderland final in the pit.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
No, you're a dog.
So good.
I tell people about you all the time.
Really?
I'm like, she's just like a little freaking bulldog, dude. Like, don't let her get your neck.
Because you're like so sweet and bubbly, and then you get on the mats and it's like,
well, no,
and I'm
even
like,
on the mat,
but
she's
not
funny.
but like,
it's when you slap up her hand and she's like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. I remember the first time rolling with you, and I was like, I'm dying. I'm literally just trying to survive.
Appreciate it.
So,
yeah, I'm excited to like get into the competition world. It's a whole other thing, and like, I mean, I haven't, fault of my own, I haven't really put myself out there enough. So I'm excited to start doing that and just kind of like getting my feet below me. Like, just, this could be. I'm the strongest I've been. I'm the most athletic I've been in a while. So like, this is a really cool Venn diagram that I'm in right now. That I'm like, okay, I could probably get this good season going. So I'm excited. I'm past the point of like, if I lose, everyone hates me and I'm stupid and I hate it. Like, I'm past that. This is all
Nobody remembers.
all peace and love. Yeah, it's just me against me. So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun when you start traveling to compete a little bit too, because then you make connections. Like, I in October was gonna go out to California for a long weekend to train with some of the girls from 10th Planet out there that I become friends with, and I ended up, obviously, we all see it. We've talked about it. We don't need to talk about it again. But like, I have people in Miami that I could go train with. From coast to coast, I have people that I'm friends with that I can go train with, and it's like, if I have the money to do it and I can loop it into like a national park trip, that would be amazing. So like, go do a couple of training sessions with some girls on the other side of the country, and then go do a bunch of hiking. Like, like my friend Chelsea DiCaprio, she and I met one time at we had talked on Instagram forever. We met at the ADCC in Atlanta. Only time we've ever seen each other in person, and then we did 4 days in Colorado last summer.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm like, okay, like her and I are twins. I mean, both named Chelsea, love national parks. She now has her purple belt, but we were blue belts at the same time. Both born in January. It's just crazy, but yeah. So it's cool the connections you make, and the further out connections are even better because now you have people to go visit and like places to go train. And I always suggest like if you're traveling for anything, like we all have friends across the country, right? Like if you're going for a wedding, find a gym to drop into because I do that. There's some girls out in Seattle that I know that like it was just I was on a national park trip and I dropped in there and now I have them on Instagram and like we're messaging each other back and forth about like, hey, nice comp, blah blah blah. So it's a cool little community.
We had that when we went to Mexico. We met some friends, and like they kept connected with us, and like now they're like, if you want to stay with us next time you come down here, we're like, okay, that's awesome.
That's good.
But also when you compete far away, and this was my training partner Becca. Love you, Becca. She might be listening.
We love Becca.
I
love
love
Becca.
Becca. She's the best.
She's also a dog.
Dude, I was just
she's
gonna
a
say, if
freaking
you rolled with Elise, you rolled with
Yeah,
Becca.
she's a blue collar. I mean, she grips like a man. But anyway,
Yes.
when I was talking to her about going, because she also did the Orbit Challenger Series, and this was like her second competition. I was like, the best part about doing a travel competition is that nobody knows you, like nobody at all. It'll be my coach, my fiance, and that was it. You know, so like the pressure's a little bit off because it's like, I don't know, ladies from other gyms aren't gonna see me. I mean, again, this is kind of just like a me thing, but that was kind of one where I was like, nobody knows you here. Like you're your own thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's competing is wild. I'm so glad that you're competing.
Yes.
I always was like, I really want you to do some super fights. Not that I'm going to tell you what to do, but there's this girl named Ryan. I would love to see that match. And
you were the one that let that underneath me because I was just kind of in the hobbyist zone of thinking where I was like, I'm getting my purple belt. Maybe when I'm like a brown belt, I will try this again because white belt was its own thing. Like, you know, you were either in there for like 3 months or like a year. Like it wasn't that scary, you know? And so when we were talking at her promotion, you're like, why aren't you competing? And I was like, that's a good question. I don't really know.
You guys, I will never tell you to compete, but I will highly suggest things. I will be like, oh, you know, like you'd probably be good at competitions. Like, what do you think about it? And I just plant that little seed, and then it just sprouts. So.
And even Ryan from our last fight, she was like, why don't you compete more? I was like, yeah, okay, hell yeah, you're right. I mean, there's nothing to lose. And I also don't have like kids or like a family right now where I need to like be home and not broken. Like it's really kind of at the moment where I can just like throw caution to the wind. So it's like, why am I not capitalizing on this like currently? So I'm glad that this came about.
If you ever need someone to go with you because Nick or your coaches can't go, I will volunteer.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'm just like, who wants to travel? Can I go with you? I'll just be cheerleading in the background.
I'm like, who wants to go to these ADCC Opens everywhere? Because I will fly with you. I will go.
Yeah, Becca's down for anything. She likes driving, so I've just been mentioning like random camps and stuff. She's like, yeah, I'll drive you to Texas. Like just random stuff like that.
I love her.
All right.
I love her.
Becca's the best. She's down for
She
anything.
is.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Shout out Becca. Yeah, she's a wonderful lady.
She is. She's the best.
Yeah.
She's so easy to talk to too.
Yeah.
I could talk to her forever.
Yeah.
And she grew up with brothers too, so she will maul you. Like
Yeah, she
legit,
will.
if you let her have your neck, you're done. Like
Oh my God.
you're over it.
She's scary.
Yeah, in a really good way.
Yep.
But she was my first legit training partner. Like all the other ladies who had come and gone had been there for like a month maybe, and like no shade to the other ladies at our gym, but they're like, there's one who's like 120 pounds, and like I'm just bigger. Where it's like her technique is solid and awesome, but also like I'm bigger. Like I just am heavy. And Becca and I are about the same weight, and she's just a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Like she just goes down a scrap. So she's been really good for my game, and I hope vice versa. But
She's doing Malice too, right?
yes, she is.
Yeah,
Yes, she is.
Did she go over or under?
Yeah, she's over too. Don't put us together. She will be sad. She will be sad because I keep her back.
Yeah.
We have not put those together yet. I don't know who's going with who.
Yeah. I was gonna ask what, if you don't mind. I feel like in the jiu-jitsu world, it's not weird to ask how much you weigh, but what do you compete at?
So I walk at like 160. I think I'm gonna not cut anymore. I've cut to like 145 before, and it just hurt. Like after you're done competing, you're just so depleted or just thirsty. And if maybe if it's like over 180 or whatever, I would cut down. But I think I'm gonna keep walking at like 150, 160, just for the sake of my like longevity hormones.
Yeah.
Like I turn into a really crabby monster. These guys know because I always carry around
She has
food.
3 meals with her here
Literally
today.
I turn into a crabby monster when I don't eat enough, and it's just not a good look for me. So I think just for the sake of everyone around me, and I want them to still like me, I want to be well fed. So, I always say a woman performs best in a fed state, and I believe that. So I probably won't cut again, but 160. I'm 165 right now, but I don't know. I have a month to get to 160, so I'm not super worried.
My favorite thing is she walks in here with her gym bag and then also a tote, and we're like, oh,
food bag.
What do we have meal prepped in there today?
Yeah. At all times, I carry at least 2 meals with me because you never know, really, if you're far away from home. And I would rather die than be held hostage to a crappy food chain like Arby's or something, where it's the only thing in a town where you have to eat their food. You know,
we just asked them for sponsorship and you were
yeah,
Arby's, you stink.
But yes, I mean, eating is a big part of my life, so I probably won't cut again.
That kind of goes into my next question, which is the nutrition side of everything, which we've been talking about a little bit lately because I'm clueless as a freaking bubble. And so the nutrition side of, just all of it, weight loss, weight training, jiu-jitsu, do you want to just talk a little about that, absolutely. And how that's how you use that to your advantage in jiu-jitsu? Because I feel especially going into more competing and looking at weight sides of things for girls, it's obviously really hard to we can't the guys. It's not just I'll drop 10 pounds in 3 days with not drinking a soda at night.
Yeah. Go to the sauna. That's what the girl says. He's just go to the sauna. You'll be fine.
I mean, he doesn't eat Oreos and he goes in the sauna.
Yeah. I mean, Will's he won't drink. I don't even know. He's just I just won't have my coffee in the morning, and then he's down 10 pounds again, and I'm
That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm over here I will kill somebody if I don't have something sweet in the next 5 seconds.
So I talked about this on my own personal story, but I am a very you need to stay normal if you're gonna cut weight. You have to have things that you still like, and just I said it on my story, an ice cream sandwich, but it's gonna make its way into my meal program if it means that I don't want to shoot myself. It's not gonna stick. And the times that I did cut down, so I cut down from 160 to 144 for a competition a year ago, and I after the competition I binged, which was just, it's so bad for your body to go have such ups and downs. So when I eat and I train like an athlete, so that's kind of part of it. We were talking about this a little bit, right. Eating before training, eating after training. And for me that sucks because I also do weightlifting, so I have to make sure I eat before weightlifting, after weightlifting, before jiu-jitsu, after jiu-jitsu. You have to time it out in such a stupid way. So that's why I always carry food with me, because it's that you're never going to get the timing right if you want to have a square meal at home. You just kind of have to be resilient with it. But it plays a huge role in how I feel in general. And even if that's not necessarily my technique isn't as good, but my brain just won't work if I'm hungry, or if I'm depleted, or if I'm thinking about the ice cream sandwich.
Elise's got your neck wrapped up in a guillotine, and you're wondering what she's thinking.
I feel sorry for the next one I come across.
She's not thinking about submitting you. She's thinking about the ice cream sandwich waiting for her.
Pretty much, yes. And so, for me, and I come from, and people might relate to this, but I came from a food addict family. If I would let myself eat everything I want, I would be back to 250 pounds. That's just how it is. So I have to be pretty mindful about it, but also just knowing that I come from that, food addiction, regular addiction, that all comes in our family. So knowing that you're not gonna just discipline yourself out of that. You have to find ways in your life that you're able to move with it. And this was a funny skit I saw on Instagram, but there was this girl who was, you probably know who she is, but she was saying that whenever she feels bad about just her body, she just thinks about how dog breeds are kind of like people. If your big Great Dane ass like myself tried to fit into a Pomeranian body, you would look sickly and weird, and you'd be real freaking pissed. It would not work out well if you tried to do that. And I think about that a lot, where it's I think where I'm at 150, 160 is probably where I should stay, because it's where I feel healthy, it's where I compete well, it's where I feel strong, I'm gaining muscle. like all of the good stuff is happening at this weight where it's like, for most of my health journey, I've been trying to lose weight. Like,
Right.
you know, when you come in from 250 pounds, it's like, hell, muscle, fat, it all doesn't matter. Bone density, as long as I'm smaller, you know, as long as the scale says that I'm less. That's kind of where I came from. So being able to come back from that and just being like, okay, we're building up, we're having like solid nutrition, we're eating before practice, we're eating after practice, drinking your creatine, having foods that like support your, I mean, just your body functions in general will just always be the best way to go. So I mean, I'm not perfect. I like my ice cream sandwich, and that's why I do it, because it's not like I'm not working out to be able to eat those foods, but I'm adding those foods into my life so that I can do this for a long time. Because like, I mean, again, nobody loses 100 pounds by just like disciplining it, and then you're gonna gain it all back. If you're just like, you have a bad day, like you don't allow yourself to have the things that you like. That's kind of a huge thing for me. Nick and I always get a sweet treat because I love it. But I have a lot of knowledge about nutrition. And I mean, I even had like a diet coach for a while that I worked with, and like, I mean, she was wonderful, but it was already stuff that I knew. So it was just kind of like, just do it, you know. But tracking food is something I do. And I've done it for so long that I pretty much already know the like weights of food that I eat and like how much I need and how much, you know, is a decent balance. But I also, if I want to get takeout or whatever, like it's inconsequential because it's going to keep you on track for longer if you're able to. And that's not saying if you have to cut weight, but like I kind of don't believe in cutting weight anymore, just because I fall into those habits that are really unhealthy, where it's like you sit in the sauna, you lose all your water, then you're supposed to compete at your best after you've been depleted to the cellular level. Like that's a hard freaking day, you know. And the one competition that I cut down to 145, I went drinking that night, and that was like the worst I've ever felt in my life. Like, such a horrible idea where it's like, why do I treat my body like this, you know? So for me personally, I think like just eating more is the way, and like my body reflects it. I'm not like a small person, but I'm also not trying to be. Like, I think that's like, I think I'm past that at this point in life where it's like, maybe I could get a smaller competitor at 140 or whatever, but that I will not be in the right place, like whatsoever, if I'm there. And even like cramping and stuff, like we talked about this in the women's group chat. I get really bad cramping after I cut, and like post match, and it was like debilitating. Like I was laying down thinking I was like dying because I cut, and then I would have like horrible cramping, where it's like I don't know, I didn't feel that way at the last competition. I came in like a little bit less than I usually am, like 156 or something. And I felt great. Like it was awesome. And then we had like a wonderful day. We went to Dubuque after, and we were able to like enjoy our day, and I wasn't just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm hurting.
Like a walking zombie.
Yeah. So I mean, off script, if you ever want to talk about nutrition and stuff, I have a lot of like, I've done everything stupid that possibly could have been done. So like I've probably done it or bought into whatever, you know. So I mean, I'm a good resource of what not to do, just a good cautionary tale of all the stupid stuff I've done. But again, I come from a place where I didn't know anything about nutrition. So like having to learn that all yourself was a lot, but in a good way. Like trial and error is how you learn, is how I learn best. And I did it all.
Yeah, no, I still have that notepad in my phone where I was like, Elise, I have to hit this protein goal.
Yes.
What do I eat to hit this protein goal? Because I can't eat any more Greek yogurt.
Yep, I hate Greek yogurt.
Yes, every time we just talked about this recently. Every time I'm like, I'll just eat some Greek yogurt with some granola, and I'm 3 bites in, and I'm like,
I have to drench it in honey.
3 years to fit every bite. I'm like,
I can eat the vanilla, but
I can do the vanilla, but it still has to have a shit ton of honey on it, because I'm like,
I'll send that to you, because I have a lot of good protein sources. And I also like, shout out to Nick again, but like I met him when he was a bodybuilder, so he'd have like 300 grams of protein a day. So he has like the tips and tricks that I kind of learned from. But it's like not a problem for me anymore. Like my problem is getting enough carbs in, which is kind of crazy, which I never really thought would be my issue. So I mean, I track just to kind of know where I'm at, but like that's usually where I fall short, especially when you're an athlete. Like you gotta eat more carbs than you think, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got no problem.
but you gotta.
Carbs are not the devil, but I
Carbs
have a
are-
problem
Carbs
with
are.
carbs,
I mean,
so.
but a lot of times the foods that you eat have a lot of fat connected to the carbs, and you have to find like decent carb sources. So that's the other thing where it's like, I also now eat like super clean. But again, fridge sig, I'll drink a Diet Coke every single day. Love that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta kind of pick your poison on some things. But like, I'll eat clean, but I'm gonna keep my ice cream sandwich because I love it. You know, so just stuff like that where it's like, it depends on how long you're gonna do stuff for, or like how committed you can be to that diet. And some people, like, I mean, they got that dog in them that they can eat like super strict, super clean all the time. I'm just not. That's not me. So
Yeah.
I try to make it reasonable, and I'm a fitness coach, and a lot of my clients are, again, like 50-year-old ladies who it's like they're cooking for their families or their husbands or whatever, where it's like, yeah, it's not making sense to be like, okay, just have ground turkey and rice for every single meal. Like, your family's not going to handle that well.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well,
it is.
because my husband can eat literally anything. He's
boo.
Yeah,
I hate
him.
that.
I hate him
He's
for
like
it. I really hate him for
a
it.
bottomless pit.
He
too.
is, and he will eat like
That'll catch up to him,
garbage.
too.
He can eat just trash.
Even dudes
And
are catching
he
up,
always
too.
says, pisses me off. He's like, I don't really eat that bad. And I'm like,
Bro, I have
a
seen
box
you eat.
of honey buns does not last one day. He will eat a full box, and then he could go chug 2 Mountain Dews, and he'll lose 5 pounds. And I'm like, get out of my face. And he's like, you might just have to, like, do a little bit more. And I'm like, if you don't get the fuck out of right now.
It catches up to women earlier, but it does catch up
Well,
to
and
men,
I've had
too.
3 kids, right? So, like, a lot in my body has changed. So I have a harder time, like, figuring out all of that
Oh,
after.
And it's
only
a
we
lot.
could all eat like we did when we were 18.
Oh,
and
God. I
19.
mean, when I was 18, I was at McDonald's every day. I ate McChickens like they were going out of freaking business. And now I just can't. But I have 3 kids I have to cook for. And to each their own. Moms, I am not just making them what I'm making because my kids aren't going to eat it. I'm not wasting all that food. So I'll make them their food. And then he doesn't always want to eat what I want to eat.
Kids eat turkey and rice.
Yeah.
I know, right? And I know there's
Damn kid,
the
just
whole
eat your
controversy
turkey and rice.
The pediatricians are like, just make your kids eat whatever you're eating. Well, I don't even want to eat what I'm eating, so no.
But there's also just so
But-
much like random information on the
Yeah.
internet too that I think I fell into a lot of those traps where it's like, if I only eat a stick of butter today, I will be so healthy tomorrow. Like, just things
Yeah.
like that where
Right.
it's like, oh my gosh,
the
like
new
I've just
thing
done
on
everything.
Are you on TikTok?
No,
Okay. So there's a
my
new thing.
Instagram reels.
There's a
That's
new
right.
thing on TikTok, and it's these like they're called cutting sticks,
Oh,
and
for
it's these
Christ's
people that are just like, get ready for summer, and they just like put this pouch in a thing of water and they drink it. And I'm like, there's no way that
Probably
is.
eating
The
disorder.
patches, the stomach patches that all the girls are
Yeah.
wearing now, where it's like it cuts your appetite, and I'm like, get
Yeah.
But like,
out.
you think about, I think this is the other thing too. Like, I think a lot of times women, you just kind of separate your body from, how do I explain that? Like, the way your body looks physically to how it works.
Yeah.
Like, I think for me, it's like, okay, if I don't eat, my body is going to want to shut down. Like, of course you're losing weight because your bodily functions have ceased to work. Like, that's
Yeah.
not good, you
Yeah.
know? So, like, losing weight is such a, like, it's an indicator of some good things and sometimes some really icky things. So, like,
Yeah.
if you're not really, like, if you're disembodied from your own, you know, you're just like, I'm skinny, it's working.
I
Yeah.
have a friend who likes to tell the story of she knew a man, and he had been going through chemo, but because of the chemo and that he had lost weight, and somebody a mutual friend that they knew walked up to him and was like, you look so good, you lost so much weight, and both of them just stood there stunned like,
That's not it. That's
Yeah.
not it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
be careful.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
you don't
yeah.
know
And I don't-
why,
yeah. I don't
just because
comment.
you're losing weight doesn't mean you're healthy.
Yeah. Or
So.
I just don't count. And like that happened a lot to me when I was losing weight too, in a good and bad way, where people would be like, what's going on? You know, and it's like, if something was going on, I don't think this is like Walmart isn't the place I'd like to talk about this.
Right.
But like
Maybe
at
don't
the
bring
same
it up,
time,
yeah.
like I think being body neutral is super duper important, and like working with the clients that I work with has been helpful. Where it's like, if they're losing weight, awesome, but like there's a trillion factors that could be into that, and like they might never ever share those, and it could be like emotional, physical, like maybe just stuff is going on, you know, and it's like if they want to tell you or there's an issue, they'll talk to you, but like when you walk up to someone, you're like, man, something's up. Like, just that's such a weird thing to
It's
me,
so
you
weird.
know?
I feel like, wow, you look great is like pretty even.
yeah.
Like if you're wanting to comment on it, I see it a lot with some of my clients too. Like they come in and haven't seen them in a month or two, and I'm like, wow, they definitely in my head, wow, they definitely have dropped some weight, and I'm touching their bodies,
right?
So I can also tell when people have lost weight.
To clarify on that, Tori owns a waxing business. That's why she's touching people's bodies.
I didn't even think about it. I know,
You do.
I touch their body
with permission.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like not always necessary to say something, and if you do, I don't say it to the majority of my clients because that's none of my business, and I don't know what's going on in their life unless they tell me. But a couple I'm really close with, they'll come in and I'm like, dang, girl, you look great. And that's that. And then if they feel like sharing more or not, I've had a client, she's like, thank you. I've been working really hard. I'm so glad to see, you know, that somebody else is noticing. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, oh, thanks. And
yeah.
that's it.
And something, okay, this is another thing too. Like when I started, when I lost weight, and this is like little transparency, I did have like a month where it was like unhealthy. And I was just like, I lost a good amount of weight in that month. And I just remember being like, people would be like, man, that you look really good. I was like, this is the worst I've ever felt in my life. Like I just feel
look good. I feel
you know,
horrible.
But like I was also like figuring things out. So in my head I was like, starving is the way to go. You know, I think I cheat code. You know, I figured it out. But like things like that where I talk to folks now and it's like and there's other like there's peptides and stuff like that. Like there's other stuff, but like the whole like skinny thing is back and I don't really love it, but everyone has their own, you know, their own reasons for doing certain things. So I don't try to be judgmental because like you never know. I mean, people are people and they're just doing their own thing. So like when people comment on bodies, I just get so like icked out, you know. It's like I don't know, man. It's just weird. Or like my dad, he lost a lot of weight in a healthy way when my sister was getting married, and my whole family was like, you look horrible. What happened? And he was hurt by that because he was trying really hard. Yeah. And then he got like quote unquote skinny, and they were just like, something's wrong. And he felt guilty. He's like, maybe I did it wrong, you know, maybe I don't look right. So it's like, I think it's a lose-lose either way, you know. It's like, man, you're looking healthy, or like life seems to be treating you well, you know. Or
you
leave
look
it
happy.
At that. Yep.
I think you look happy is one of like the best compliments you can get.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you can a lot of times see it too when someone's like gone through a big weight loss or something and they do look great physically, but you can tell like there's a spark in their eye, there's a smile, there's shine to their face. You're like, wow, you look happy. That's awesome.
That was one of like the biggest compliments I've gotten within like the probably last year and a half, where people were coming here for open mats and a couple of people were like, you look happier. I'm like, thanks.
You noticed.
I am.
It's awesome.
So I've had a client who say it to me and I'm like, I'm gonna cry right now.
Happy tears.
There's so many wonderful ways to uplift people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really easy when you think.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. We're at an hour and 22 minutes. 122. I was gonna say 122. Which I knew this episode was gonna go long.
Yeah.
And we always say like we're gonna keep it to an hour. We always go over, honestly.
No rules.
I was like, we have so much to talk about with you, Elise, and we're such good friends where I'm like, we can just talk all day. I do, unless you guys have any other questions that you want to ask.
How are babies made?
How are babies made? Well, mom and dad really like each other, and then they do what Tori does, and they touch each other. Okay.
Please don't have your shit.
She doesn't do that, people.
Sponsored
she waxes.
by Tori's waxing business.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get you shut down. We're gonna get you investigated. One last question, and then I kind of forgot that we do the would you rather, like the rapid fire. So we'll do that with you as well. But last question to kind of end on to wrap everything up. But what is the biggest thing that jiu-jitsu has given you in not just like the gym, but like everyday life?
A community, a real community, I think is what I was lacking when I started jiu-jitsu. And like Nick and I were kind of like solo boats out in the ocean, like just kind of doing our own thing together. And then all of a sudden we just had people who love us and who know us in a really weird, intimate way where it's like, I sweated on you. Like now we're like close, like we talk, you know. It's such an odd feeling to just have people who know you in a different way. And you really can't bullshit anybody here. Like anytime I come into practice, like my head coach, he can read me like a book. Like I'll just walk in with, I guess, a sideways look or something, and he'll just be like, all right, come to the room, we're talking. Like, just things like that where people know you and they're able to call you out in a super, super cool way, where it's like, I think this is truly what community is meant to be. And I think a lot of people lack that. And unfortunately, a lot of people are isolated in their lives and they don't have something like this for like good, bad, or indifferent. Like, I've come to class in a shitty mood, or like Nick and I are fighting, or stuff is going on at my house, or like my job sucks, or just something where like they know what's going on. They know both of us. They know our lives. They know our background. So it's not like you have to explain yourself, but like having people who really deeply care about you, whether you do jujitsu anymore or not. You know, like now you have people who it's like, well, all right, you're stuck with it. Like, whether you like it or not. Like my training partner Becca. This is my last example. I'll tell it for her because I love her. But I had a really shitty job in September. And I just had a day where I was just like bawling my eyes out, just having the worst time ever. And I missed practice and I just didn't say anything. And she was like, all right, what's going on? Like, where were you? And I was like, I had a day. And she's like, okay, I'm going to bring food over. And I was like, no, don't. I'm wearing my pajamas. I feel horrible. Like, just don't come over. And she still came over with tacos, and we just sat on the couch silently for like an hour. And then we watched a show, and she left. And that was it. And I just remember being like, God damn, someone like really cares about me. And they like know that she knew I didn't really mean it. You know, I just wanted to like save face and be like, I'm okay. But like just having people that really know you in a way that's like, you just can't replicate it, I think. Like, maybe I just haven't been in other communities like this, but like having a real true blue community, how it probably should have always been, like that's the biggest takeaway from jiu-jitsu. Like, Nick has seen it too. I mean, he's like a completely different dude, completely, in an awesome way, where it's just the folks around you want you to be better, and they want you to be like the best version that you can bring to the table, which is like, I mean, what beats that, really? Right. Like, they want to pour into you as much as you want to pour into them. And I think that's something that like everybody needs to some degree. Like, I love jiu-jitsu.
We're nerding out over it.
I'm nerding out. No, it's a big deal for us. Like,
yeah,
that's why it was such a big deal that like Nick proposed with the like jiu-jitsu community behind us, because it's like, those guys are the reason we stayed together. You know, like there's been days where I'd come to class and be like, we're breaking up, like this is that, blah, 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 blah. And like they literally like therapize us and just be like, all right, no, you're not. Like, let's talk it out. And like, yeah, I mean, just so many examples of just, I mean, they want you to be the best version of yourself, not just for you, but for other people. And like, in return, they get that as well, but that's not why people do it. And like, you'll find that at any gym you go to. Like, there's some bond you get from touching people where it's just like you cannot bullshit these people, and it's annoying, but it's also like the best, purest thing ever, and it's awesome.
Oh my goodness, this podcast.
I like touching people.
These are gonna be the bloopers.
Yeah.
Make it a sticker. We need to make stickers of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's so many we need to.
I know.
Yeah. Last and final. It's gonna be, we'll blur them out. Actually, we won't, because I don't really know how to do that well. My editing
They're not
skills
worth anything.
Somebody thinks that.
If you guys want Elise's feet, I can hook you up, but you have to pay her.
Yeah.
Okay, so rapid fire. Don't think too hard about it.
Oh.
I let the compulsive thought win.
That's gonna be a blooper.
Oh my god, I love you. I lasted the whole time without doing it.
Oh my god. Okay. On that note. Gi or no gi?
No gi.
Wrestle or pull guard?
Wrestle.
Submission or points?
Submission.
Music or no music?
Always music.
What else do? Compete or coach?
Compete. I don't know how to coach.
Super fight or tournament?
I've never done a super fight, but I'm guessing super fight.
Perfect.
Was it ordered a super fight?
No.
Oh.
No, it was
It was tournament style? Oh.
The
Okay.
challengers was more tournament
It was,
style.
oh, okay.
Upper
Favorite
body or
submission?
leg locks?
Yeah.
What was the question?
Upper body or leg locks?
Leg locks, but not here. You guys are really good at leg locks.
You're okay, but to your defense on that, your leg lock defense today looked stellar.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It hurt a lot. Thank you, Michaela.
I think that's all.
Favorite submission?
Yes, that's it.
Heel hook.
Ooh. I thought it was gonna be
I just
feeling.
haven't got one on any of you because you guys are great at it.
I thought for sure it was going to be a guillotine.
Close second.
Okay, because you're terrifying with those. All right, on that note, thank you, Elise, for joining us today.
Elise.
Thanks for always supporting us and being a great friend. And if you guys need any coaching or anything, Elise is on Instagram at
Elise lifts things up and down.
Perfect.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. Shoot her a message. She's an awesome human being, and we love her so much. So if you guys have any nutrition questions, jiu-jitsu questions, life questions, I'm sure she's a social butterfly. She'll talk to you.
Yeah.
So
Arguably too much.
But on that note, I'm going to remind you guys to always
Roll rogue.
That was perfect.
That was awesome.